Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Loose Change. It's your boy, the Show Off, and I'm back. So, ladies and gentlemen, at first I was trying to avoid talking about this or whatever the case may be, and really just tried to avoid talking about this. But today I'm going to talk about Kanye, and more so from the specter of not really Kanye, but more so from the specter of how we look at it as our culture. The We the Black People series is coming right back. But I just needed a little break or whatever. But anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about what y'all see. Imagine going to your boss that pays you a nice a nice salary and saying, hey, this is where you're fucking up. This is where you're fucking up. You don't pay, you pay yourself way too much money and you don't pay this person enough money. So that's where you fucking up. You would not last an hour in that business. That you would be fired fucking immediately. So what we've lost when we're talking about these things, we've lost a general concept that when you're tied to someone's business, sometimes you get paid to shut the fuck up and do what they ask you to do. Alright? I'm not coming to justify these companies. I'm not coming to justify Kanye. I'm not coming to do none of that shit. Only thing I'm coming to do is add common sense to this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I understand why it's hard not to listen to Kanye, because I listen to Kanye just for entertainment purposes, all right? Because he may say a whole bunch of shit that's out there, and at times a whole bunch of bullshit, but then somewhere in there you'll find a couple of jewels that he drops. All right? So, I understand, but me personally, I judge a person based off of their total body of work. All right? And a lot of times we give celebrities passes, all right? So here's the reason why it's hard for me to completely take Kanye seriously.
So when I said that, and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them, because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now. So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt. Because how could the richest black man ever be humbled other than to be made to not be a billionaire in front of everyone off of one comment that actually, if you look at the definition of DEFCON, it means to get extra defense, which obviously I must have needed.
I apologize when I say I'm sorry to the Jewish people that I hurt. It's not about, like I said, I'm not going to hold this apology hostage, right? It's obviously it's about God, but God is everything, right? So what's the point of even having language and being, you can't engineer if you say God, 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 right? It's like, it's, God asks us to be judgmental so that you become, if you're a doctor, right? It's your judgment that saves grandma, right? Mm-hmm. And God puts that in this. Like, we have God inside us. We're a piece of God also, right? So I'm going to go specific to a person. That story about Da Vinci alone is enough of a reason for me to give a sincere apology to the Jewish people, because I do believe that there's a Da Vinci code inside of all of my misspellings and scribbles right here that God wants me to get to the world. And when I'm in my way, if God has set something on me, when I'm in my way, I'm in God's way. Now I can point at other people and say, hey, you guys are in God's way because you're not listening to me. But if I'm in my way, I'm not listening to God. And for me to be a philosopher and a leader, whatever other language, I have to listen to God. So before God, what I will do is start off as a samurai and say, I'm sorry for hurting you as a Jewish person. I'm sorry for the way that made you feel. And I'm sorry for the entire population of a race that I feel is actually my brothers, because I classify and feel that I'm also connected with Christ in that way, that my people came from Africa in that way. And I can't say it's this exact teaching or that exact teaching, but I feel that there's an important, the sons of Abraham, however we want to word it, right? For us to come together and bring our different talents together to serve God collectively. And he, as much of an alien as I am, he did not call for me to alienate.
You see, once you say something and you apologize, that means you didn't mean what you said, and it completely erases the fact that you said it, or you would think. But ladies and gentlemen, he can't come off and under this. You see, there's this thing called crossover, ladies and gentlemen. And that means when you are a superstar, when you're coming in and they're introducing you, they introduce you to the people that you can relate to and that can relate to you. That's how they market you. All right? Now, once that happens, ladies and gentlemen, if you become a big enough superstar that they believe they can market you to other demographics, then that's what crossover is. All right? Once they start getting you to do pop music, and I remember back in the day, Nelly did the song with Tim McGraw that crossed him over into country, um, um, and making you appeal to other markets outside of what you came in the door doing. Some notable celebrities who have done so. Um, Michael Jackson, King of Pop. Um, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, when he was doing the stuff with Linkin Park. They try to cross you over in other markets, all right? In order for you to appeal to a new mass of people, in order for you and them to make more money, all right? And what happened was Kanye underestimated two things, all right? He underestimated the power of his crossover, all right? And where his money was really, really coming from, ladies and gentlemen. And the other thing that he underestimated was when they put you out front and they make you the richest black man in the world, ladies and gentlemen, and they make you look like a boss, and you start to really think that you're a boss, and you don't understand the inner workings of the fact that of how you are attached to these people, they will humble you. Because anytime a company can cut ties with you from the point that you are worth $9 billion down to $400 million, ladies and gentlemen, you were never a boss, you were a figurehead. And they quickly showed you that because they had to humble you. Ladies and gentlemen, he was never going to be canceled because of what he said about George Floyd. So let's be clear about that. You know why? Because we only think of things. Who was going to cancel him for that? Us. We're not going to do it. We forgive people. We forgive, like for instance, Gucci. We typically monetize those who shit on us as black people. And if he was going to be canceled for what he said about George Floyd, it was going to have to be us. Ain't none of those companies going to cut ties with him because of what he said about George Floyd. Ain't none of those companies going to do anything. Now, Kanye has a tendency to whoever he's rolling with at that time and in that moment, he has a tendency to regurgitate their talking points in order to continue crossing over to a new demographic. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kanye just bought an internet company that was the CEO of that company. It just happens to be um, Candace Owens' husband. Now, when he wore the White Lives Matter shirt, who was standing there wearing the shirt with him? Candace Owens. Who was the first person to come out and start talking about fentanyl and George Floyd? Candace Owens. Ladies and gentlemen. But he wasn't going to be canceled for that. So now you poke the bear, nothing happened. And a little bit later on in the same interview, you started saying things about people who you are tied to in business. He started off saying things on Fox News, on ABC News. He started off saying little things. And then he gets on a black platform and goes all the way with it. And that's what y'all coming to the aid of. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I will challenge y'all and all of this stuff about we need to stand by Kanye and all of this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, when he said the shit about the slavery, was he standing by us? Was he standing by our ancestors who went through that shit and got their asses whooped and forced to do things? Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, I challenge y'all with this. When have you heard anything about Kanye doing something other than monetizing these companies rather and actually doing something to monetize himself and his people? In other words, when have you seen him do something in the community, especially his community in Chicago, where people are suffering every day, and the basis of our pain and the things that we do is based off the fact that we're suffering as a people, and we're out here doing all of these things because we're chasing money? Why isn't there some business that this billionaire person, this person of a billionaire status, why wasn't there businesses that he was putting up to create relief for those people that wasn't tied to these other companies, to create some relief to get these people out of the situations that they were in, to possibly turn the projects or the hood into just normal neighborhoods, because now people are getting money, not livable wages, but above livable wages. Some kind of way that the self-proclaimed most influential person in the industry, a certified billionaire, why not help your people as you refer to us? Ladies and gentlemen, you have to start thinking before you jump out the window for someone who's not jumping out the window for you or themselves. I'm out. Show off.